live. Tell me if
we're
are
live.
we?
Can we get like some
Can't ask this
basketballs
question.
bouncing in the back here or something?
We need some we need some tunes. Where's my Method Man at?
Yeah.
We're gonna make a badass G rap to that tune.
Go ahead and wrap it. Are we too blown out, Paul?
Paul's ready to bust it. Oh, we're good. You could drop the
Adjust it from the front of the lens. What is the shutter
All
speed
with
at?
streetwear, you gotta teach me how to wear clothing.
Yeah. All right.
my
cool.
streetwear.
What's our shutter speed
Yes.
at, Paul?
It's meta.
On there.
I like the sweater, like the
this?
hat.
Well, what's our what at?
Our shutter speed. Because I realized I never adjusted it.
How fast was that shutter?
30.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like I'm super blown out right now.
You look good on that.
Oh, maybe it's the screen, actually. All right, we're live on Facebook. And we're live on YouTube as well.
I got this hat for free. I got this sweater for free.
You're all about that free life.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're at TwitchCon. Yeah.
This,
They were just like, alright, that bid is free stuff, so take whatever fits.
You were like,
some bum
dig
was
in.
playing around with that outside this morning. You guys can have whatever you want.
so I think we're good on
I just
everything.
need to raid
right?
HK stuff now. I'll be set for
See.
set and closed for a while.
I don't know if Facebook is live or not.
It is.
I can't tell. Is it live?
Yep.
Cool.
Facebook. It's alive! It's alive!
Yeah, I guess it is live. Oops.
What up, Michael? We already have a shout out from Pineapple. What's up, brother?
Oops.
We're gonna be starting in a couple minutes. Dan sits his ass down on this burrito.
I'll put up for him.
Connor's gonna stand it up for you, Dan. So you just.
I only take my burritos vertically. Here's your notes, you guys.
Oh, perfect.
It is
Thank you.
Benji annotated his.
There was a
but
back
no
of
one
the
else's.
notes.
Yeah, it's 2 pages, Benji. I don't go light on this stuff.
Oh man. Alright.
I was wondering why you were just like asking me questions about
Right.
what I had obviously already written.
I'll be right back. Anybody want a cerveza?
I'm okay. Thanks.
Yeah, for now I'm okay. I'll go get some in a few minutes.
World Cup mounds? What the hell is that?
Well, they had mounds at World Cup. That's what that is. It's pretty much
A mounds map?
a mounds map, yeah.
Yeah,
Mappy old mounds.
Dust too. Damn, Dust, dude, I'd be sick for paintball. Yeah, I would.
Benjamin
Fucking
Hernandez
awesome.
says, "My wife hates paintball. I got hate her." Right on, man.
You got what?
Perfect, dude. You couldn't have said it better.
He speaks for both of us.
What did he say?
Although my wife doesn't hate paintball. He says, "My wife hates paintball. I got hate her." So I'm gonna let you decide
Divorce!
the way you want.
Divorce!
And then we got Mike Banks. What up, fellas? I
Where are you seeing this?
He's
That's
on
on
YouTube.
YouTube.
I'm
Yeah,
on
those are the
Facebook.
YouTube comments.
YouTube, Paul, have
Maybe
you
we
heard
should
of it?
start talking about paintball. I think
Probably.
people would like to hear about
So-
paintball stuff.
I'm just getting our windows ready. All right, so we're gonna try to stream today. We had very horrible luck last time. I messed everything up. It's because we didn't have Paul, but we
It's
got
all
Paul
Dan's
here.
fault.
Saved the day today.
And
So
I heard Andre may be stopping by later.
Andre's gonna update us on the hot rod build.
Is he stopping by later?
Yeah, he's stopping by.
Possibly.
Okay.
But yeah, we're here for 11/9, November 9th, and we got some really
9/9/2009.
11/9, 2017, 9, and we got some really great topics that we're going to cover. Benji basically rewrote everything I had written on my 2 pages of notes here, so he's going to go into exact details. But why don't you give him an idea? Well, I already got us started. Why don't you give him an idea
so
of what
we're going to be
discuss?
talking about World Cup. We're going to be talking about the new Mounds Field. We're going to shout out a couple teams that we want people to know about. Going to be talking about some new products that were debuted at World Cup. We're going to talk about SoCal Stock, the local games that we have going on here in the next couple weeks. We're going to be talking about innovation in paintball, specifically old school paintball.
Old school brought into new
Dan's
school.
forte. And we're going to be showing off some cool guns and gear that we got, which you guys always enjoy. So if you have any questions, you want us to cover something in particular, just send a comment and we will.
Comment, Paul will be checking them, keeping us up to date.
Blind Man, ooh, that's a good comment. Blind Man Paintball, can Jorge do a workshop on trick shots?
Yeah, we might be having a little trick shot showcase.
You
Either
put your camouflage
Actually,
on, Jorge.
CCM
Thanks.
created a Jorge Cervantez trick shot gun.
Yeah,
So we're going to be talking about that.
first.
yeah, probably.
Okay, well let's start. We'll start talking about World Cup. So World Cup just finished.
I'm gonna.
Most importantly, Pro Division, Impact beat Dynasty. So we've spoken about Impact winning in the past and how, you know, it's been the refs helping them in the past, but that's been kind of controversial. But apparently, Impact won this one clean. It was, in the final match, it was 4-0 Impact, and Dynasty clawed their way back to 4-3. Almost took it, but, you know, that's just a fun game to watch. The two best teams in paintball going at it. 1 point spread between them. That's the kind of paintball I like to watch.
So Impact won World Cup, but who won the series?
Impact.
Impact also.
Impact did.
Who Dynasty won the last event, right?
Which means Impact
Oh, no.
has to pay themselves the winnings.
Basically.
Who won the last event?
I think it was like, I know AC Dallas came in second.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually AC Dallas was doing pretty well this year, or this event too, so they've been doing pretty solidly.
Nice. Awesome.
Let's see. I wanted to shout out a couple of our buddies' teams who did really well at World Cup. We had Gustavo playing for Armageddon out of South America.
Woo!
They got first place in D3 X Ball. This weekend, right?
Wow.
Killed it. Taking it home for South America. And I say South America because there were guys from different countries within South America.
Gustavo was
playing
from
on
Ecuador,
it. He is from Venezuela originally, I believe.
but you met him in Ecuador.
Right. I met Gustavo when I was playing UWL in Ecuador, and my entire gear bag was lost, and he set me up, or he helped me find my gear and set me up with gear and made sure I was actually able to play. So I try to make sure I give him a good shout out. Another shout out is the West Coast Sharks winning the series title for D3.
Go Sharks.
D3 5-man, which is pretty cool. I think they got 4th at World Cup. Not first, still pretty solid.
Do you feel like you could have contributed had you been there to really like boost them up one place maybe?
Nah,
Nah.
they're doing solidly.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice.
What do you guys think about the Mounds field?
I thought it was awesome. I thought it was great to toss it back to the days of yore, you know, the golden days of paintball. Get some of those natural bunkers and natural cover in there. It's really nice to see. I mean, I'm thinking maybe we'll see a toss back to Woods Ball coming up here, huh?
You know what? I don't think you're far off. I've heard it being spoken about, although it's not confirmed. But, you know, I like that they brought the Mounds field in, but I wish they actually committed to, like, really making it like the old school Mounds field. Because what I've heard and what I've seen in pictures, it seemed like they pretty much made an airball field out of mounds. So, you know, each individual mound was a separate bunker. They had a mound snake. They had a big mound 50. So essentially it played like an airball field, which doesn't really work for some of the older guys who might want to play who aren't as mobile. And, you know, maybe if it was a bigger field or bigger bunkers, you could have all different kinds of people playing it.
Yeah. I mean, are you thinking something not as structured or something that is just like a more bizarre layout to kind of throw people off?
I think it needs to be bigger. First of all?
Yeah, I mean, that's one complaint that you could see straight away from that video. Not only a bigger field in general, but
bigger mounds.
Bigger mounds,
right.
Yeah. And also, like you were saying, connected, like a ridge rather than just a pile.
Right, because if you're playing one mound, there's not all that many places you can come out of on. If you had like a piled mound, you could pop up this side, pop up that side, and you could get creative. So it'd be more interesting to watch also.
I mean, one thing that I picked up from watching videos of, I think it's Lockout playing the Mounds Field in Pittsburgh. You know, they're shooting, it must have been like 80 or 90, 98 or 99 or even 2000, but because there's angels in it, so because it could have even been 97, 96, but anyway, they're playing the Mounds Field, and you can actually see them running along the mounds, so they're actually even like backdooring the other team just by staying low behind the mounds, because you're shooting over the mounds, you're not seeing people move behind the mound in front of you.
So with these mounds fields, you don't have those crazy run-throughs. You don't have the, oh, crazy! It's just like, okay, one guy, you know, everyone's getting shot out of their bunkers, and then at the end they push through, which, I mean, it's typical of tournament paintball nowadays, but, you know, with NXL actually adding these divisions, it's obvious that they want to make it more what people want to play and watch, so hopefully they're listening or someone mentions this, and, you know, they can get a little bit more creative.
Brandon Davis says, it was fun watching Fight Club on the mounds. Brandon, do you have a link for the video of Fight Club playing the Mounds Field? And if you do, just add that to the comments so everybody can watch it.
Yeah,
and they don't have to watch us just running our mouths. But I did hear that the Mounds Field was improved since that initial video, the initial NXL video was posted. Or maybe it was a Houston.
Maybe so many people complained that they did that, but I did watch a couple videos of gameplay on the field, a couple with the new meteor cockers, and those things were ripping. Although from what people have told me, it seemed like the enemies were having less issues, or more people were using enemies successfully. I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure about that.
That's probably just the way the enemy functions is, I mean, I don't know anything about enemies, but I'm just guessing, you know, it's just more of a surefire way, like maybe less tuning. I don't know. People can probably comment on that. Enemy experts. Paul, you're all about the enemy.
Yeah, Paul.
Paul is the enemy.
Bring it home.
No, actually, Jorge is the enemy.
Come on, Dan.
Enemies? I don't know much about that, but I know that I think a SoCal team won the Pump Division.
Yeah, batteries not included.
Batteries not included.
We got local resistance guys playing on that.
Awesome.
And they took first. And what was the prize money for first?
$1,000.
Not that much for Pump.
I mean,
you're not spending.
I feel like with these World Cup events, it's got to be better prizes considering everyone's flying in. You know, $1,000 doesn't even close to cover airfare.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously, we're playing because we love the sport and we want to hang with our buddies, but you know, it would be nice to recoup some of that cost if you get first place. You know, which used to be the case.
Yeah.
And actually, speaking about money in the tournament paintball, the 2 versus 2 actually finished up at World Cup, which means that one team of 2 guys won $50,000 for winning the 2v2.
Give me that money.
Which is pretty awesome. Like, everyone should be playing it. Now, I don't understand why there isn't a front page post on PB Nation's, you know, showing the big check and talking about it. It seems like they're kind of wasting the marketing on this. They're like, here's 50 grand.
Yeah,
they're hoping everyone's going to talk about it.
I think the picture that I saw of them holding the 50 grand check was on Inception.
Yeah.
Right here. Go to the GoPro view, Paul.
And I saw on the...
Let's see, this is going to be upside down, right? Is the GoPro upside down?
Yes.
So...
No, that's good right there.
So there you guys can see a picture.
And that's on the Inception Design Instagram. So
right, and that's where I actually saw
Inception Design on that.
I saw mentions of it on Instagram and a couple on Facebook, but I don't know, it seems like they put a lot into creating this, and then once it was done, they're just like, okay, it's done, whatever, forget about it.
You were explaining to us about how the $50,000 was actually fed in towards the event, because like to me, I'm thinking like, wow, how could they afford to pay out a prize of $50,000 for a 2-man? But you were explaining.
From what I understood, people were playing regionals to get access to the bigger events, to play on the national circuit. And from what I understand, these fields who were hosting these 2v2s to get in were, you know, kicking back some to NXL, which is where, you know, where the prize money...
putting money in the pot from those events. So
which honestly, it's not a bad idea. You got more rec ballers playing tournaments. You got more money coming into fields. You got money going into NXL. I would just like to see them actually capitalize on it.
Yeah. Do you know any fields in Southern California that were feeders to that?
Yeah, Combat had a feeder.
Oh, they did?
Combat Paintball Park. It's in Castaic. I'm not sure of any other SoCal ones. That's the only one I actually saw advertised.
Cool. Awesome. Let's see, do we have any comments?
And I heard next year it might be switching to 3-on-3.
Gene says, yeah, BIN, batteries not included. I think Gene is probably a sponsor for them with the slice kit.
Cockerparts.com.
Zucchini says, the local NXL 2v2s were super unorganized this year. Sometimes NXL staff weren't even there.
Well, actually, most of these 2v2s, I don't think were supposed to have NXL staff there. They were supposed to be run by the local fields.
Well, maybe he means like there should have been NXL staff there to officiate, like to some degree.
To make sure,
Yeah. I know that one of the guys at the pump event we had here in Bakersfield, Fall Event West, he ran a similar kind of event, but it was one-on-one. And I can just see that being a platform to be used at all kind of fields. Like there should be more of these little tournaments just to get people into it, especially since not everyone wants to do the whole national circuit, but they still want to compete. So,
for sure. Yeah. I mean, it's also, you don't have to rely on anyone else if you're doing a 1v1 or even a 2v2. It takes like the amount of like relying on your teammates down to
you just
a
need
more
one guy
accessible.
down.
Yeah, it's just like a more accessible format for a lot of people.
Which makes sense considering how hard it is to, like, you know, with UWO, we're trying to, in the past, keep a 10-man team together, and it's so hard to keep the same 10 guys for every event. So.
Yeah, I mean, what's your roster like for Black Sunday? It's like 50 people?
At least.
Yeah, I mean, and you got people from all over the country coming in.
Right,
because
and
the
that's
events are
how
all
they're
over
able,
the country.
Yeah, that's how they're able to put a team in every event, which is cool, but, you know, most people don't have that kind of system to play in.
So this would actually be a good breakaway point. So when you do a trick shot competition, it's really, you're not relying on anyone else. You're relying on yourself, your skills, and your marker.
Yeah, it's just you, your marker, and
your scope?
Your van. Well, your van to get you to the competitions, you know.
What your van usually do most trick shot?
You're usually looking at like a 73 to 75 Dodge.
Nice.
No windows.
Nice.
Or if you do have windows, you paint them black.
Well, all right. This is one thing I was always wondering. Do you paint it black on the inside or the outside?
I think it's on the inside.
Pedophiles paint them on the inside.
Okay,
so
but
I usually do both to make sure that they don't think that I'm, you know.
But see, here's the thing. If you're gonna paint the windows on the outside, anyone could just go around and paint windows on the outside of a van.
Yeah, what if some dude was just going around painting black windows onto white vans, making people look like pedophiles?
Well, no, because
just
the
to
pedophiles
disguise
paint them on the
himself.
inside.
Meanwhile, the pedophile's driving an Acura under the radar.
It's true. You have an Acura, right, Benji?
He has a Hyundai. He has a Hyundai, which is
Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey drives an Acura.
For sure. He has like 10 of them.
So what does Louis C.K. drive? Are we still cool with Louis?
I love Louis.
To
death. My number 2.
Louis was just accosting women, not kids. He's cool.
So, anyway.
Have we alienated enough people yet? Are the true fans
mean, when they
still
look
on?
at us, I don't think they can feel alienated.
Good.
So where are we at now, Benji?
We can talk about some new products.
Yeah, new products.
Let's do the product overview of what's
New
coming out
products.
recently.
Woo! One thing that stands out for me that came out at World Cup was a new pod. Trying to look.
New
I mean,
pod? What was up with
a
this
new
pod?
The carbon pod.
It's called the carbon pod, and it changes color as it warms up. Yeah, but it's $10. But you know, we're thinking as tournament players who get pods for free or 50 cents. Normally, you go into a retail shop, it's like $4.95 for a pod. So you're talking about twice the price for some technology in there. That's not bad. Because I definitely have had pods in my pack that I've forgotten about, and you know, I dump a 150 round clump into my hopper. You know, if I took it out and it was a different color, maybe.
Oh,
I'd
so
think
it changes
about
colors based on how many balls are inside?
No, it changes colors based on how hot the pod is.
Okay, so you're playing into the day, you throw your pods into your bag. The next day, well, I mean, I guess the beginning of the day, you put your paint into the pod.
Right.
By the end of the day, it's 100 degrees, all your paint stuck together, your pod is round instead of gray.
Now, right, when I was playing with the Sharks, after each game, every single game, we dumped all of our pods out into a box and loaded fresh pods because you know you didn't want the chance that you had a
you
pod
can't
beat
risk
up.
that.
So potentially with these, you know, if it's still
But
the
not
right
even that.
color-
But in case like any balls are messed up or anything, you want to load fresh paint.
right.
Now, you think there will be any sabotage of other teams putting their pods in a the other team's pods in a fridge?
Well, if they do it
trick
now,
them.
we'll find out.
So this also is a good segment from our last conversation about the bands. So if you're going to paint your pod to kind of mimic the carbon pod, are you painting on the inside of the pod or the outside of the pod?
You're making me spit out my beer.
Maybe you should be drinking paint. I don't
Again,
know.
you're going to want to do both, so you can get a double reading. One for the inside temperature, one for the outside.
There we go.
Yeah.
So basically, you pop your pot open before the game, you dump your paint out, and you look at both, and then you pick your paint up off the ground, and you figure out if it's shootable.
Yeah.
Well, I
Makes
think
sense.
what you do is you pick up all your paintballs off the ground, and then you load them into the pod, and if the pod changes color, they're bad paintballs. If it stays the same color, good to go.
I mean, these are completely different ways to go about it. I would have to try both before I could agree with anyone.
I need a
Right.
pod
Just
that
like I said, both.
I need a pod that recognizes dirt.
I think you need a gun that filters out dirt.
I do. It's called an automatic.
Maybe. All right. Here's what you need to do.
Cocker shook. Automatics
All right.
rule.
Here's what you need to do: is at the end of the day, turn your gun and your hopper while it's still connected upside down and pour it into a gold pan, and then go down to the river and go through it and see if you got any gold. That's how you tell if you really won.
So these noobs who are actually picking paint off the ground, they're not doing it for the paint. They're doing it for the gold.
Gold
They're
right there,
prospecting.
and not liquid gold either,
I pick up paint off the ground when I'm playing with Dan's guns.
which you're normally doing.
Yeah.
Actually, you have your own guns now, a semi and a pump.
Okay. So what other products do we want to talk about?
All right, so the Menace pistol, that's what it's called, right? The Menace pistol.
Yeah, the
Dennis
Menace
Menace,
pistol.
I don't know anything about it. I just saw it on PBN.
So the Menace
So-
pistol is a 50 caliber, so it's paintball soft. It uses 12 grams and it gets 75 shots off a 12 gram, which is pretty impressive. I mean, it looks fun to use. It looks easy to use.
How many shots are loaded into the
7
magazine?
shots.
Seven?
7 shots in a mag. But at least you can, quickly change
Yeah,
mags. 'Cause
I mean-
we were talking about the new CCM revolver, which is cool, but I mean, if you're actually talking about using it competitively on a field, I don't think it's as
What caliber is the revolver?
easy.
Is it 50?
The revolver, I believe, is
I think it's 50.
50.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure. I think so.
No, I thought it might have been 68.
Now,
No, it's
Benji,
not
do you
60,
know
sure.
what kind of
Yeah,
what kind of FPSs are we looking at here? We're not looking at hot rounds.
I
right?
know with paintball soft, I think they shoot a bit lower anyways.
Yeah.
Like
Any
250.
projectile over 1,200 feet per second is classified as a hot round. That's a quote from Jorge Cervantez.
Well, it's
I thought that was
very
from Atlanta.
painful, but yeah.
No, Atlanta's just reiterating everything
Okay.
that Jorge says.
We got
It's
some
like
other cool
43
stuff
cal.
that came out.
Well, I heard you can use preemptive strikes in the revolver.
43 cal. So Eric
Yeah.
says the CCM pistol, the revolver's 43 cal.
And I think that's right because the paint that Bill was showing looked like blowgun paint, which I think is 43.
Okay.
Is the Spider? What is the Racer? What caliber is that one? That's like metric size, isn't it?
I thought that's 50 cal also. No.
I'm
I don't
not
know. It's
sure.
been a while since I've used one. It's. I think 43 would be a bit too small to really use on a paintball field. Even 50 cal is a bit weak, but if you're, in close quarters, I can see it working.
Like if
I
you
know
could jump
normally-
through a window and blast somebody like
Exactly.
Ruben.
I know I've been shot by 50 cal and I really haven't felt it, so I wouldn't want to use it on the field where someone's just going to turn around and blast me not knowing they were hit. But I can see it being cool shooting in the background or showing off, and it's definitely a cool
Dueling.
concept.
Yeah, if you
Dueling
duel,
would be
Dueling
cool.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or truck shots.
not as cool as dual welding though.
Duel.
It's kind of jumping through the forest.
Welding together like pieces of
Doing
steel.
some ninja
The
rolls,
Racer
some
is also
California
43
rolls.
cal. Thanks, blind man.
Cool.
I should know that.
Yeah, 11 millimeter.
Yeah. Couple more
Yeah,
products.
11
There's some
minutes.
new cocker bodies.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some new Inception bodies. You got the Sleeper, the Mini Hornet, the Mini what's FB. Then there's the Canvas, and Dan is a fan of the Canvas because it has very little milling. It's almost like a blank body, which
Almost looks like a stock WGP body, but it
Right.
cut up a little bit more than that. I think it would look really good gloss. It's, I mean, personally, it's my favorite Inception body so far. I don't know why, I just like that
It looks
style.
clean, and the way they were advertising it was, this would be perfect to stick a laser engraving of your choice on.
Yeah.
And I can see it. It's a pretty cool body. We already talked a little bit about the Meteor bodies, which Contract Killer is engraving some of them, or
I think he did engrave them, and I think those are the ones that he was selling at World Cup.
Okay.
Those might have been the only ones available.
Yeah, last I checked, he had one left. So if anyone is still looking, message Contract Killer.
And so those ones weren't as cut up as the G series, I don't think, because if they were as cut up as the G series I think is Meteor's like higher end body style, and I think if they were that cut up, the lasering would kind of interfere with the cuts, possibly. But
yeah, it'd probably be harder planning the engraving around the cuts, or it would just have the missing spots or engrave your bolt. I don't know how he does it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. Bit out of my range, but cool.
And so Benji and I were talking about with the Inception bodies, there's a little bit of there's some kind of newer aspects added in that is, it adds a little bit of innovation. But with the Meteor bodies, it's really like all kind of classic. There's not like a lot of innovation aside from like the cuts,
different body cuts.
Yeah, the body cuts and the back block cuts, but it's really an aesthetic piece. Like you see it, and it really appeals to a lot of people who like late '90s like BBT Shock Tech bodies. And
is it Splash Anna?
it's not Splash Anna. I mean, especially like you don't want to have Splash Anna on like something that cut up. I mean, you could; it would still look cool, but it wouldn't be.
Yeah, and we've been noticing, a lot of the cockers coming out are just that they're cockers with a different body style.
Yeah.
Inception came up with a bunch of novel pieces. Different three-way, different ram, different this and that. Some people like the way they shoot, some people don't, but they are trying to change up some things.
Yeah.
I always still think, a standard cocker is going to shoot just as well as any of the new ones.
I mean, that's the thing. I could take my cocker and it would probably shoot just as well. I think with the Inception, the trigger geometry makes it a little bit more difficult to short stroke.
Well, it's also a little harder to shoot it as quickly.
I think so, but someone can correct me because I'm probably wrong on that.
Right, maybe someone's fine-tuned it already.
There's a new squeegee that came out by HK Army.
Right, so HK combined your standard straight shot squeegee with a swap.
Yep.
Which is cool.
So basically the possum tail, the tassel possum tail.
Yep.
Was that really?
Except for they have a bushier tail. It's like a more modern swab. Because the possum tail has, the little flippy, flappy squeegee part on the end, and then it has like a barrel, like a real steel barrel cleaning brush on the other end.
Yeah, but it was pretty cool. You press the button in the back, which makes the little end turn sideways, shove it down the barrel, let go, it straightens out, you pull out your paint, and then finish with the swab, which is better than, most tournament players have nowadays, which is just a swab. So you're shoving that paint in the breech, and then you're hoping that you shoot out. I mean, you're cleaning most of it, and then you have some in your breech which gets shot out with the first ball, really. But this is just like another notch.
So it's
got a shout out from Gene at AutoCockerParts.com. What's up, Gene?
It's foldable, right?
It is foldable, so it still fits in your standard tournament paintball pants.
Nice.
We're gonna have to check that out.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to try one of those.
I've really, really liked the HK stuff lately. I used to be an HK hater when I was growing up. We were kind of like, at least in the Valley in LA, you were either with HK and against it. So we were against it, but I've turned into a true HK
me
fan.
too.
They're kicking butt. The knee pads I have of theirs, the elbow pads I have of theirs are better than any other ones I've tried.
They make pretty nice gaming jerseys, huh, Paul?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm not wearing one today, but
You should be.
I should.
But you should be.
You know who else
he's
is
wearing
coming out with
some
some new stuff is Giant Tactical.
Okay.
And what I like about Giant
GT
Tactical is solid gear, but the price you can't beat. I mean, he's giving kids like half the price of any other manufacturer nowadays for pants, jersey. I mean, he hooks it up.
What's his price point on pants?
Last
like
I checked,
$100.
no. Last I checked, you got the pants, jersey, shirt, a headband, and stuff for like, don't quote me on this, but it was like 170. And I remember we were getting just the Empire pants for like 165. So
All
you
right,
kind of
hold
get
on.
everything for the same
So,
price. From
so like to throw it back, like how much were your Thunderwear gloves? Were they?
My Thunderbird gloves? Well, you can't get these anymore.
So priceless.
But I paid, new in
1988.
I got these in '92. I got them secondhand, but I bought them back then for I think it was $950. And I paid,
How much was your full line?
actually I paid $950 and 3 Bitcoin back then.
Nice.
So, yeah.
So
It's
what
quite
does
a
that
lot.
translate to
Yeah.
today? Because I'm not following Bitcoin's current
It's
value.
like 25,000.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I would say worth it because these have risen in value according.
Yeah, well, basically they're priceless. Okay, so quit
Priceless.
looking at them.
However, if you want to buy them, how much will you sell them for?
I don't know. I think I'd only sell them to Kevin Spacey.
And you wouldn't sell them; you would just trade for your
Yeah,
services.
just trade. I'd trade.
Trade
I'd
for
give it,
services.
off the books.
So when you combine the Thunderwear with the revolver, what do you get? A killer package, or like a package that's like
Revolver wear.
guaranteed to win you a trick shot
Well,
match.
I mean, the good thing about that is you can spin the revolver with these gloves because
Nice.
they're fingerless. I don't know if you
So
guys can see.
the
but-
CCM revolver,
Yeah.
the Thunderwear gloves, and then the revolver vape. So
Yeah,
you're
the
revolving.
revolver vape.
You're revolving in like both hands.
If anybody wants to see Connor's trick shots, he does a clinic once a month.
Yeah.
It's actually once every 2 years now. He's
He's doing it.
semi-retired.
It's in Bocce's backyard.
It's in Bocce
every Friday.
Mountain.
Yeah,
Bocce
every
Mountain.
last Friday of the month.
Well, ever since Ollie Lang retired, Connor's taken over.
Yep.
Ollie Lang's out doing his monk stuff, spiritual
guidance.
renaissance.
So, let's see. What do we got next? We got SoCal stock, or I guess we got. Is there a new Mac Dev gun? I don't know anything about that.
We don't care enough about it.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's be honest.
Okay. So upcoming games.
Sorry, MacDiv.
Upcoming games. We got SoCal stock. That's this Saturday. It's a mech game at CPP.
It's called Mech Wars.
Mech Wars. Our fearless leader's putting it on.
So it's at Combat Paintball Park in Castaic, which is by Magic Mountain in Southern California.
I like how Edwin kept the CPP name.
Yeah.
Because every
That's
time
smart.
someone says CPP, I'm like, California Paintball. I'm like, no, it's Combat Paintball Park. But
And I like that not only
California
he didn't
Pizza
just
Kitchen.
buy it to stick his name on it and make some money. He's been putting tons of money into it,
Yeah.
making it an awesome field. They actually just put a bunch of steps to get you to the top. They added fields. I mean,
They poured those out of cement, right?
I believe so.
Yeah,
And
they were
they're
pretty badass. Those steps before were like killer.
going to be grading the tournament field so it's perfectly flat, and they're grading some other fields.
you should have been there before the sets. You had to walk around the whole damn park up to where the castle field is now, which used to be
Wait,
Hamburger
how long
Hill.
ago was that? I don't think I ever played that.
That was like the early 2000s to 2000.
So I started
Five.
playing there in 2005.
Okay.
So that would explain it.
That
Yeah.
just
And
to walk up there will kill you.
And I started playing there last year,
Yeah.
maybe the year before. Noob.
Alright.
Yeah.
What's
So-
the
So
word on the
well,
street, man?
that's a mech game though, right?
That's a mech game.
Yeah.
So what are you guys bringing? Paul?
If
If you were going.
I was gonna go, I would bring my Shock Tech Autococker, of course.
Ooh.
A baby.
Ooh.
When I'm not
Jorge?
going.
I would probably just bring a blowgun, but I might also bring my mag.
What about your SMG? Would you shoot your SMG there? In semi-auto, obviously.
Well, the semi-auto SMG, Bocce, I don't know.
But you would bring your mag. You
I'd
would bring
only
your mag.
use that in a mag feed game, I think.
Oh,
The SMG.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, Stephen Blair mentioned that MacDev gun we were avoiding is called the Prime, but it's just like every MacDev gun I see is just another version of the same gun, just like the die gun. So, when they actually create something that makes me go, wow, I'll talk about it. Otherwise, like, am I going to talk about the new die gun because it's an ounce lighter? No.
I mean, we talked quite a bit about the die gun, the DSR.
Already. Well, at least that one had some novel stuff on it,
Yeah.
a little bit, but
Yeah.
yeah, we're going to talk about cool guns on this show only.
Cool
I
Guns.
think the
Cool Guns
G-Mac
and Egg Flops.
just got released, right?
The what?
The
The
G-Mac,
G-Mac,
the
we-
G-Tech, the mechanical version.
Yeah.
Right, we covered that a little on the last
Yeah, I don't know if they were available for purchase at World Cup. I know that they were supposed to be letting people use them for some of the mech games, but I don't know. Anyway,
I know John's already done some testing on it,
Yeah.
and it looks like it shoots pretty
Yeah.
nicely.
so what are you going to use on Saturday,
I'm
Benji?
going to use this beast,
The Rapide.
Flatmaster Rapide. I'm going to be G'ing fools out all day.
Where's your, would you call it a clip or a magazine? I guess it would be a magazine.
Magazine.
You should duct tape your finger to the trigger on it.
I was thinking about it.
What benefit would that have? The duct tape.
Well, you would maintain a solid trigger finger grip the
I would
whole
say
day.
he
And
should
you'd
just-
always be ready. you
I
know?
would say he should just wear his Thunderwear gloves. I mean, that would really bring the whole thing together in unison.
I forgot
also-
that he has Thunderwears.
I'm considering just filling my pocket with paint so I can just like put my hand, not with paintballs, but with like actual paint. I'm gonna stick my hand in my pocket, get it all painted up, get behind someone, just whoop-ah!
So-
Slap the shit out of them, go surrender.
You shot this, and how did it do?
First like 10 or 15 shots were pretty solid, and then it started dropping. So maybe I need to rebuild it because these.
I mean, I don't think you could get more than 10 or 15 shots
No?
on this. Like, the way that this
Okay.
works is it has double action arms.
Mhm.
You pull the trigger, and it takes the... At the beginning right now, before you pull the trigger, it has, like, little claws around the spring-loaded disc, and as you start to pull the disc towards the valve, it actually... The spring tension is too high, and it releases from the claws, and it slams back, and that's what actually strikes the valve. So it's like a very, like...
Got it. Yeah, I don't know why.
imprecise, like...
I don't know why I
Also,
thought
you're
it was
missing
gonna.
a screw on your...
You should get that looked at. Maybe
Yeah.
at Ace Hardware.
I
Or
thought it was
something.
gonna have like Nelson
Now,
efficiency for some reason.
Benji, is that Freakboard?
No.
Who do you think would be the best person to look at a Splatmaster Rapide?
Oh, you probably want to give Tim at PaintballTech.com a call.
Tim at PaintballTech.com!
He serves some Splatmaster repeats.
Isn't Tim right now in Shock Tech? Just
Building
Shock Tech?
guns?
Yeah.
No,
Working
he's
on
Danny
the
Glove is
prototype
making
reviews.
those.
Okay.
He's with Inception Design Building Guns. That's what he was doing for World Cup. And he is going to Fulda Gap, which is this weekend, I think, with Inception. He's going to be in the Inception trailer. So if you are there, stop by, say, "What up, Tim?"
And if you have any guns that need work, go to Tim.
Gene at Autococker Parts says, "Fired the G-Mech at World Cup, and I was very impressed."
I mean,
Ooh, if Gene's impressed.
it shoots like
Yeah.
a G-Tech, which shoots pretty solid. It's just a different trigger. One more game that is going on is the Dreaded Legends game, which is in San Diego in December. And that's going to be a big scenario
Damn.
game. I know a lot of Black Sunday
December,
guys are going. There's also the charity game, Lynn's charity game at Action Sports Games, ASG. That is, it's a toy drive, right? So you
No,
bring.
it's just a charity.
Just charity game, this one?
Yeah.
Okay, so
The toy drive is Sonny's game, and I don't remember what's going on with that.
I thought that was also in December.
Yeah, if he's doing it, it's going to be in December. There's also, well, you can. Do you have anything else to say about Lynn's game?
Show up.
Show up. I'm going to do a paintball history booth there, and
I'll probably be hanging with
Are
them.
those?
Yeah.
Is that a pump game or is it?
It's
or-
whatever.
Anything
Yeah,
goes.
Anything goes.
It's at ASG, which is in Paris, California.
Super far.
Nice.
Super
It
far.
is, it's very far.
Yeah.
It's almost like driving to Camp P, like it's just like fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
for
for a
some
good
It's,
cause
like,
though.
it's inland, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Inland.
It's past
Uh,
Colton.
And then we also have a going away game for Jeff Wakefield, which is also in December. So if you want to play in December, you can play.
Well, that is actually
The end of November.
end of
November.
November.
Yeah, the Thanksgiving weekend.
So what's going on with
Saturday after
Jeff's
Thanksgiving.
loaders then? What were you gonna say?
And that game is Saturday after Thanksgiving. So the week of Thanksgiving, but that Saturday.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So Jeff actually said he's updated the loader since we last spoke, and he's going to
Mhm.
show it to me this weekend. But
Cool.
we are also getting started on printing off the older versions in lid style and 10-round style. That's going to get started probably on Monday because we have a new printer head coming in for the 3D printer. And
Is
yeah,
that Jeff or your homie?
that's my homie.
Oh,
So my
cool.
buddy Matt and I are going to be printing those out and selling them, and we're probably going to be, borrowing the new design from Jeff also. So whichever style you want, you'll be able to get. But
I like the sound of that.
Yeah, we're not going to be selling
sounds great.
any until we make sure we get the prototypes working perfectly and decide what styles we want to push out.
Cool. Cool. So,
You want to go innovations or guns?
well, it's up to you. We probably don't have a lot of time left. Probably like, you know, we could stretch it like 15 more minutes. Do we want to talk about innovation, or do
let's
we
do
want to
gear.
just look at gear?
Yeah, everyone's
Okay.
I
favorite.
think the people want the gear.
Everyone's favorite part. We're talking about cool gear.
Cool gear. Cool gear. Okay, so let's look at what we got. So a few weeks ago, I found this. Let's see, I want to get the jersey. I found this jersey.
You found it?
Well, no, I think
Yeah.
I found it on eBay.
Outside.
Bought it on
You stole it
eBay.
off a homeless man.
It's bunkered brand, bunkered paintball gear, which
Yeah.
I hadn't heard of before. So
Yeah.
you can see in the GoPro. Was that a farting noise you just made with your mouth, or an actual? Is that upside down, Paul?
Would you look at that?
Yeah. Would you look at that?
Would
at
you
that.
look at that?
So there's
Would you look at
bunkered paintball gear, and I hadn't seen this before, but and it's also it has extreme sports, extreme torment on the back, and then I happened to find the matching pants also on eBay.
Different auction or?
Yeah, different options.
What?
Different
I
guy.
had never even seen this brand before, bunkered paintball gear, so it's a little bizarre.
Yeah, it's a little thinner than Renegade,
Yeah.
but
Are you gonna wear those?
I like the pattern on it a lot.
You should probably wear those back there.
I'm not sure I like that.
I mean, right now would be the perfect
Turtleneck.
time to wear it because the weather's
mock
cold
turtleneck.
down.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
high
kinda-
fashion.
kinda bizarre.
Here's something
High
totally
fashion.
random, unrelated, but I saw a homeless dude wearing a JT jersey the other day.
The basketball jersey?
No, like a legit long
What?
sleeve
A motocross
JT
or-
jersey. No, like a
That's
paintball
crazy.
style, and it made me happy. And I was like, I have a ton of paintball shirts. I'm thinking about just like handing them out in the neighborhood just to see like paintball all over the neighborhood.
And then you're giving them shirts, and they're gonna want pants.
A great image for paintball there. A bunch of
Yeah,
homeless
pants.
people wearing it.
So what do you got there, Benji?
This is an ASP Pump Tippin 98.
Yeah.
So this I wanted to show off the other week, but I forgot to bring it. So
I've never
this,
seen one of those.
so basically, these were being made to try to import to, I believe it was Australia, who at the time they weren't allowing semi-auto paintball guns to be imported into the country.
And that was
To
the
the
same
front.
deal with the Automag pump kit, right? That's why
I'm
they
not
made
sure.
the Automag pump kit, is so that they could sell Automags to Australia.
Okay. So basically, they made 15 of these, and they brought them to show them off to try to, get them to approve it and buy them. And as they were doing that, Australia was like, all right, semis are fine. So
So there's only 15 of those in the whole world.
there's 15 complete ones made, but ASP does still sell the bracket if you want to like make yourself the kit. There's work you need to do to it.
So it would be probably the pin, the.
I'm pretty sure this is the piece they're selling.
I mean, they would have to sell.
And
one
you
of
need to
them
make
because,
no. They want you to add your pump kit, your bracket, or whatever. They just had these already made.
I mean,
I
they
mean,
would
you-
have made the rod
Yeah.
too in this piece.
Well,
so-
you can go on the ASP site now and check it out. It's Air Soldier Products.
Yeah.
Is this how you would hold it?
Well, actually, no. If you wanted, you get the 2-finger grip right there. The 2-finger
Because
foregrip.
Benji doesn't actually have his.
His two
his-
front fingers.
Well, no, he doesn't have his foregrip here, so you have to only use 2 fingers.
Yeah, it's
I
weight
see what you mean.
modification. Yeah.
Yeah, that's smart. You picked these things up right away. Did you even realize
He's
that?
intelligent.
He knows, like when he looks at a paintball item, he can pick out the exact details of it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Maybe that's why it didn't sell, is because they didn't kind of draw focus
So-
in the future.
This is an item that Mike Grizzly Grubb gave me. He gave me a few of these, and
Grizzly Grub of Gramson Grizzly.
of Gramson
Infamy.
Grizzly, and
Egg flap? What do you,
the egg flap.
What do you do with
So
this?
let me see if I can actually. So yeah, it protects your eggs. I was like, what is this?
Oh my
like,
gosh.
does this protect your balls? He's like, protects your eggs. It's the egg flap. The egg flap.
I like the splash annos that they did on yours.
Don't let don't let Jorge use those. So they'll have a horrendous stench.
So they don't work all that well because when I
They don't smell right now. It smells like rubber.
they don't work all that well because when I just slapped it, I hurt my eggs. My eggs hurt right now.
Nice.
They need to make them out of harder plastic.
But,
as long as you didn't
see
crack
what
it,
it is.
I think you're fine.
Benji took one of these to Few, and he got some feedback. And what's the word on the street?
It works.
Word on the street. There you have it. It works.
Did you do a
That's
Super Troopers?
been Benji's word on the street.
Word on the street. Benji's new segment. Word on
Did
the
you do
street.
like a Super Troopers test with it?
So Paul, come up here and take Jorge's spot or take somebody's spot, and I want you to drop some knowledge on this.
All right, let's see this.
All right, Jorge's staying up here because he actually probably knows. So
Yeah,
here, why don't you take center seat and then tell us all about
Give us
the
a appraisal of this
Sandana.
Sandana.
Whoa. This is oh shoot! Look at this tag right here.
Right?
Yeah, what do we got, Paul? This was also from Mike Grizzly Grubb of Gramps and Grizzlies. This was in one of his gear bags. He had a lot of desert camouflage. He had a desert camouflage Idema vest, desert camouflage Indian Spring squeegee leg holder, desert camouflage Sandana with the not fabric tag.
Bullet hole.
Desert camouflage bullet hole.
Someone might
Hot
have had a
rounds.
casualty with this Sandana
Well, they
on.
were able to clean all the blood out, which is nice.
Hot rounds.
So what is this? Is this
So this is
overhead or?
this is a late '90s, maybe early '90s Sandana tag right here, and obviously the mesh. Well, it's not. It's what is it? Cloth mesh, desert camo design. And it's not a regular Sandana. It's a wraparound where you can put it on your head.
I washed it.
Well, you're gonna need to wash it again.
And to wrap around your neck with it. So
Oh, that's
it
cute.
doubles as like a neck protector and a kind of head protector, I guess. But it's mostly for like sun blocking out the sun.
And nerds.
And to
nerds.
protect your
Yeah.
head.
I actually used to wear one of those to school.
There you go.
Because you were a nerd.
It's a very stylish.
I
thing
told
right
you I
now.
wore JT pants until I was like 15 or 16.
Connor, remember I gave those pants to Connor? He said he wore them to the library next day to study.
Dude, I'm gonna wear those like.
pencils from the squeegee.
So what can you pick up from that inside tag?
Yeah. So this inside, we call this the terry cloth tag. This is the older style, so I mean, obviously from the tag you could tell this is like a $300 Sandana tag.
Woo!
Yeah.
The tag.
It's pretty old. This is this piece of history.
So
right here.
so rank like the different tags. Is that the oldest tag? And then it goes
these
gold
are
tags,
these
or-
are one of the oldest tags. Yeah.
I thought that these were
Watch
the
out for
original
that corner
tags,
being
so,
cut
Yeah.
off, but when Paul
What?
hands it back to you.
So, I mean, is there another tag that's just as early? I mean, I thought this was
I think you have one of the older tags. It's not.
on the
This
back
one has
of
like
one.
Yeah.
this one's colored, but I know Bocce has one that's like black and white.
No, I think it's like that.
It's like this, but
I
just
don't
like
know.
super
Yeah,
faded maybe.
we'll have to look at pictures. Let me.
Well,
take
what
this,
about?
show it in
Didn't
the
you have that
GoPro
head
here.
wrap that had like a Sandana skull in it or something? Like.
Well, yeah, that's the Badbird one. It has the same. It has
That
the
one's
same
pretty
tag.
old.
Yeah, I think it's probably the same. I mean, I would imagine Mike
Oh,
probably
just
saw these guys
just
at one of the
practicing
trade
it.
shows
Okay.
and was like, "Hey, that'll go well with my desert camo outfit."
So if anybody has a
How's
Sandana
that
like that
pattern?
with
Is
one
that
of
worth
those
anything
tags, that's a $300 tag.
$300
It might
tag,
be more
Rather
actually.
than no.
more, possibly more.
Power.
We got the Sandana Master Sandwich.
Just
What about my
digital
paintball
ones, yeah.
junkies? Like, what's the value on this tag?
All I know is that matches those like
PJ.
gray pants you gave me.
The
Yeah,
PJs.
the
Good
PJ.
job. You
Actually,
should
those
post
are
on the
paintball
Sandana
junkies, aren't they?
So
Yeah,
so
they
the
are.
paintball junkies do-rags were specifically made for Jorge Cervantez in the 90s. When he was a young kid, he had to protect his dome.
You got hair.
You want me to
Yeah,
turn on the GoPro?
It's not gonna work. Okay,
I've
so
seen his in ages.
let's see what else. What else we got?
You can whip out the Timmy.
Really slick.
I don't.
paintball.
I'm not gonna
Paul's
whip. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
whip
afros.
anything out without asking.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys mind if I whip out the Timmy?
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
hey,
whip it
why
out
don't you just
Timmy.
get naked
Here.
and start whipping that Timmy right there?
There you go, Benji. You're back over here with the Timmy.
You can do the automatic valves too.
You could cover the automatic valves if you wanted. Or Jorge could. He's a big automatic expert.
That's your forte.
So
But,
yeah, Gene said that neck protectant is called the Sandana under chin.
Under chain.
Under chain.
Under chin?
Under chain?
Under chin!
Under chain.
This is just, I wanted to show off. I got a few nice Timmys in, and this is my favorite one. It's a Naughty Dog's Intimidator. This is back from when actually milling was a thing. Cool milling on, you know, electros.
I used to used one of those for several years.
So
Still shoots just as good as when they came out.
Now, I heard that they got different dogs for each model to get the paw print.
Oh yeah. How'd you know about that?
so
Yeah,
but
I know my history. I know my kidney history.
when you're saying different dogs, do you mean like a good dog and a
Well,
naughty dog, or do you mean like?
No, I
Like
mean
a
different
Chihuahua and a
breeds.
Great Dane.
The different breeds for the different model years.
And the different breeds were for different bore sizes. So
I
it's
think-
very rare to find a Chihuahua Naughty Dog's Intimidator. That's like a 43 cal Timmy.
But based on Rizzo, Chihuahuas are not necessarily naughty, right?
That's true. He's
Yeah.
just a dog.
He's just a dog.
And that's not cool to just assume he's a naughty dog.
Yeah.
He's just a
So
dog.
wait, one thing I wanted to address is with the under chin strap. Would you be in the Chiang gang if you're wearing it, or just the?
Chian game.
I feel like I get
The
double
Chihuahua
bang around
Mafia.
you
I
guys.
think I think Rizzo's from the Chian dynasty for
Chiang
sure.
Dynasty.
Here, Dan, let's switch spots. You have some cool
That
stuff
one,
to show
Paul
off.
can show that jersey. You want to show that jersey there?
Yeah,
Paul?
it's
This Oakland Assassins jersey?
It's actually
Oakland.
Oakland Empire.
Oakland
What?
Empire.
What's that?
Get in the frame.
Yeah. Oh,
Get in the
Paul.
frame.
So
That's
that's
pretty
a
sick.
jersey that Dan picked up this week, last week.
I don't know.
Paul
Recently.
Long jersey.
Recently.
Holy crap.
Basically, it's a Bob Long Empire jersey, but it's not Oakland Assassins. And Paul, you can correct me on this, but I think it's after Oakland Assassins just because it's got padding on the jersey. And I think the Oakland
Oh,
Assassins
yeah.
jerseys was before padding was a thing.
You are correct.
But I mean,
thought
it
this was
also
a
has
prototype,
the older Intimidator logo, right? And it has V-Force
Yes, it
on
does.
it.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Let's,
I feel
Could have been
you
right
know,
around
I've done a lot of
2003.
research on these jerseys. I think that this might be a prototype.
Maybe 2003.
do you think that's one of the first shirts that was ever worn by humans? Art? Or is that taking it a little too far?
Yeah, no, I think it predates the what's the Jesus shroud thing?
I don't even
What
know.
is a Jesus shirt?
Hey, let's see.
There's like some like
Hey, Jorge, why don't you show us the apex on your Automag? Is your Automag over here? Gotta be, right?
yeah, it's on the bed there. Where's
Yeah.
where's the
Apex is over there. Tell us a little bit about what you'll be able to do
Well,
with
then
your...
we talked about the
We did, but we didn't see it on your Automag.
yeah. Are we
So-
on the
We're on the big one.
Okay.
It's
like
main
Bob Long.
camera. Just stay on the main camera, because
So-
everybody...
Yeah, Jen was saying how much he likes the size of my LPR because he could have some fun with it. This is
I'm
an
sure he
extra
could.
large,
Would he want to take...
AKA LPR.
Would he want to take the barrel off, or leave the barrel and the LPR on at the same
I
time?
man,
feel like
that's
he
nice. It's-
I feel like he might enjoy
Good.
some of the double
Some
double
good
action.
distance. So this is the I actually upgraded. Andre and I were working together this week on our hot rod builds, on our respective hot rod builds. I'm doing a semi-auto. He's doing, as you guys know, the sniper. And I came across this ULE body that it looked like a backyard alley dog like got to it or something because the frame's kind of chewed up in the front. But I decided to go with that puppy.
That's because it's built by Jeff Ward.
Well, it is weight reduction.
So
obviously.
it's hard for me to discern between the Automag with the nicely modified ULE body and the Apex barrel and your Thunderwear gloves. Like, all I want to do is look at your Thunderwear gloves when you're wearing those. Like, I can't even see what's behind them.
You know what? That's
many will.
a nice setup. I would shoot that setup.
Oh my god! Wait, I got a video of that. do it again. That's the greatest thing I've ever seen, I think. Hold on. All right, go for it. It's so great. So there you go, vape nation.
Vape Nation.
Paul's been buying up guns just to vape through.
Oh yeah.
Wait,
it's
let's see
Cleo
if
Matrix,
you
that's
can
for that.
turn if you can curve the vape out of there. So let's try. We're
I
doing
bet you
some
could.
science experiments with the Apex.
And on that note, okay, I want to show off one more gun, and then we're gonna end it. We're gonna end it because Rose is gonna.
Hey
be
guys,
home
what's your
and tell us.
favorite kind of Bush's baked beans? It's a question we have.
Brown sugar.
Brown sugar.
I
It's
don't
the
like
right
baked
way.
beans.
I don't like sweet beans.
Dude,
Really?
beans.
Here,
My
bake
mom
out of
makes some
this.
crazy baked
Paul and I
beans.
go for the brown sugar and cinnamon.
Actually, never mind.
Dan just likes beans.
I just like beans because I like to mix hummus with my beans.
He also likes to
Let's,
tear ass.
Paul, let's go with the GoPro. We'll look at the KBS Eliminator.
And maybe a close up of the Thunderwears.
Okay, so here is a KBS Eliminator, and this was owned by one of Mike Grizzly Grubb's teammates on the Fighting 69th.
That is a crazy looking gun. It almost looks like a duck or something. Like,
I mean, it's a
just the boxy body.
Yeah.
Kind of like a box gun.
the feet of it is very cool. All right, let's go zoom out now, full view. So what we got is we have a Nell spot, and you put this long one-piece steel unibody on it with a pump handle and this giant aluminum feet. It actually has a front sight also, which is a little wild. I'm not going to get out of the bag, but it's pretty neat. Unfortunately, it's completely rusted up. The bolt is not moving at all, but I think it might actually go to Andre to be the next hot rod build.
Well, I know he was talking about making an offer on that feed
The feed.
for his hot rod build.
Oh,
yeah.
he's going to put this feed. Unfortunately, this feed cannot be separated from the KBS.
Boo.
So he's going to have to hot rod it himself.
You know,
He said he's going to make an offer.
it could potentially 3D print
brings up
one
the
of
price
those.
for the hot
Yeah.
rod build.
Actually, that feed would be really cool 3D printed. And
Yeah, instead of just your standard stock class round feed.
yeah. I mean, it's
So
somewhat
inside
similar.
it, is it square or is it rounded inside?
For the balls, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it's
Bone.
round. Wait, bone. All right. So what do you think? I think that's pretty much it. Why don't you just show off the Expendables patch, Benji?
Okay, we got this patch from the East Coast M. Carter Brown guys. It's not the Expendables, it's the Expandables.
Expandables.
Is that
Because
a kind of
MCB
expansion?
tends to be toward the heftier side. We're eating men. This is from Ty McNear, and who else was there? Wade was there. Sorry if I'm forgetting your names, but yeah, this was a little gift from the East Coast MCB crowd, and they gave one for me and for Dan, and it's a nice little thing. Goes added to our patch collection.
Definitely. Very cool.
That's awesome.
What else? You want to talk about your automatic valves, or save it for next time?
I think we'll save it for next time because we should probably end it and clean up, or I'll be murdered.
Well, let's keep going.
That'd be kind of funny.
Yeah.
All right, later, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Peace.
Peace.
R.I.P.
Underwear
Andre.
from down underwear.
Later, Steven.